Hey everyone, welcome back to another Trailblazer Reloaded video. In the last video, we smashed out a ton of tasks in order to unlock our 6th relic, got our first 99 on the league, and unlocked our 3rd and final region, the Fremennik area. That left us 6,000 points from our 7th relic. Today, we're going to smash out a ton more tasks and push hard towards that 7th relic for that juicy 16 times XP multiplier. Let's get cracking. Okay, as all good leagues videos begin, I was doing a bit of AFKing while editing the previous one. Since we got Equilibrium unlocked, I decided to do a bit of Barbarian Fishing. It's even better than normal since we get a whole bunch of little XP drops with the extra Equilibrium XP tacked on top of it. These are the levels we started at, a measly 30 Strength and 65 Fishing, but then we got all the way up to a solid 61 Strength, 79 Fishing, and even a level 80 Agility as a cherry on top. And now it's time to start smashing out some more progress. Okay, I'm pretty sure one of these we couldn't equip last time because we didn't have 60 strength. So yep, there we go. That was the one. 80 points for a hard task to equip the Tazar Ket Om. Now there are so many different things that we could be doing that we've got our 3rd region unlocked. But I think the one that's right at the top of my list is to make use of Fire Sale, which we've been talking about for a long time. Come to the Stonemason in Keldagrim and buy ourselves some construction supplies. These are normally some of the most expensive items in the game for building late game pieces in your player-owned house. But for us, it's as simple as a click of a button and we can get as much of it as we want. And check this out, 1 high alch on a condensed gold. If we want to cast High Alchemy, yes we do. 4.8 million gold just from High Alch in one of those condensed gold. We can get so much GP with this. Now obviously the whole point of Fire Sale is that we don't need GP, we can just buy whatever we want from the store. But I have seen one really interesting looking construction method on the Leagues Discord. Now to do that method, we do need some actual cold hard cash in our inventory. There's so many ways you can go about training construction with Fire Sale because these items make it so much quicker no matter what you do. But the thing that really intrigues me about this method is that you never have to leave the house. So you don't have to teleport and get supplies. You can literally stay in your house all the way from 75 to 99 construction, and that sounds pretty good to me. And just to clarify, that's without having to use a butler. Fire Sale, Construction, and Fremennik has got to be one of the best combos in the game, not least of all for the Master Task, building a Demonic Throne, which is an easy 400 points for free. But first things first, we got to get ourselves some GP, so I'm going to high alch a few of these condensed golds. A more efficient player might do this while running around agility laps or something, but I'm lazy. Just the cool 2 billion GP, that should be more than enough, I reckon. So we're going to do this in a 3-step process, starting with some decorative rocks in the garden. Oh, and I should mention the methods that I chose to go with are all ones that don't require planks because I don't feel like getting them, but there are some alternative methods you could use if you went and gathered some planks beforehand. Actually, before we get started, let's take note of where we're at. So we've got 5,970 points to go to the next relic, 301 tasks complete. Let's see how much we can knock out with construction alone. A few minutes later and we're at 47 construction. Now this is a spot where you could go an alternate route if you felt like it and build gold sinks all the way up to 90 odd construction, but to do that you'd have to have some mahogany planks ready to go. Okay, that is 63 construction. Phase 1 is complete. We are going at about, let's call that, let me just pause that real quick. That's probably about 45 minutes spent so far. I pulled the calculator out. It actually was pretty much 45 minutes on the dot. But now we're going to switch over to marble fireplaces for a little bit for phase 2 of our training. These marble fireplaces are a lot nicer as well than the decorative garden because you only need 1 brick at a time, which means a lot less banking trips. Whereas the decorative garden was 5 at a time. So you could only knock out like 3 or 4 per inventory and then you had to teleport to the bank and run back. So one thing, speaking of teleports, actually, first let me just quickly pause this XP tracker, is you'll see if I go to my teleport menu now for the spirit tree, it's actually a lot more condensed. So there's a really nice quality of life plugin on RuneLite you can download called the Better Teleport menu from the plugin hub. And basically what it does is it just deletes out all the rows that we have no access to because they're out of our region, means our list is a lot more condensed, a lot more readable, and easier to just find what we're looking for. These marble fireplaces usually cost like 325k a pop, I think it is, per marble brick, and we are just smashing it out for free with the added benefit of 4.5 million XP an hour. Very nice. And that is 75 construction. We have unlocked our final form. Let's get the calculator out. Where are we at now? Okay, so that's about another 12 minutes spent. We're up to about 57 now, just short of the first hour. So what we're going to need to do is we need a formal garden first. We'll just build that right here. And then within this formal garden, we're going to build ourselves a dungeon entrance. Then at the bottom of this dungeon entrance, we're going to build ourselves a dungeon stairs room. And then within the dungeon stairs room, we're going to build ourselves the treasure room. This is the final piece of the puzzle. Now, this is where things get really good. We are going to build in the monster space, and we're just going to build whatever the highest one we can afford is. We've got unlimited cash, essentially, and this is going to be absolutely crazy XP. Now, the best part about this is we literally never have to leave the house. We can just stand here all the way to 99. We don't have to worry about teleporting, jumping in and out, getting extra resources. It's a lot less click intensive and a lot less stressful to have to deal with. So there are other plenty of methods out there, but for example, one of the other common ones was doing marble wars, and then you have to start dealing with loading screens and that, and there's just another hassle on top of it all. You can do magic chests, I think around 90 or 95, but there's actually a monster space here. I think the Dagonoth monster space gives you more XP per drop than that one as well, even though those are only one item at a time, so you don't have to bank as much. It's still not as fast as doing the monster space. Then there's the crystal thrones you can do from I think level 95 to 99, and whilst they give you a big XP drop, you have to use 15 magic stones at a time. That means you can only build one throne at a time, and you have to teleport to the bank in between every single time, which is just so much more effort than standing here and never leaving your house. 80 construction, we can graduate to the cow fight space now. I'm not going to bother resetting. Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me when it appeared right on top of me. We're going at about 6.7 mil in XP an hour. It should speed up now. XP drops are now 10k at a time rather than I think it was 8.7 with the lesser demon. 85 construction, we've graduated to the Tok'Azil now. That's 26k XP drop. That's insane. And that is also a very big boy. What the heck is that? Hello, buddy. Okay, we're coming up on level 90 here for the next monster space, the Dagonoth. We've dragged our XP all the way up to 11.2 mil an hour, and that's still including the lower XP from the lesser demon because I didn't reset it. We're pushing 15 mil an hour now at 95 construction. Now, I want to quickly, I think I'm going to reset it for the last little push because I just want to see how much XP an hour we can get with the steel dragons. Okay, we were getting like 32 mil an hour. That is absolutely obscene. But as I expected, I was slightly short on cash, so I'm quickly going to go do a few more alks and we'll knock out the 99. If you're also a fan of bonkers XP rates, then don't forget to drop a like on the video. It really helps me out and it's greatly appreciated. I just opened up my area map and it says I completed Klein and Karen and Ghost Ahoy, but I'm pretty sure my task count hasn't changed. I think in the update last night, there was actually a fix for people who have these regions and the quest wasn't auto-completing for them. So maybe for everyone, it just shows up when you open the map, but since we're not actually in those regions, there's no task or points for us to collect. 99 construction locked in. I just missed recording the fireworks, I think. 200 points, and that is just the beginning of our construction points. Okay, let's get the big one out of the way. This is what we've been waiting for. Normally, this is going to cost, let's see, what is it? 25 mil on the dot, pretty much. One demonic throne, a master task, 400 points. Our first master task complete on the league. It feels good. Let's keep knocking out these points. Build a gilded altar, 80 points. A mahogany portal, 40 points. Golden Sink, elite task, 200 points. Oh, and we got the steel rank as well. There we go, moving up in the world. Very slowly but surely, 10,000 points complete on the dot as well. Oak Ladder, medium task, 40 points. Gilded Nexus, 200 more points. Build the achievement gallery, 80 more points. And building a marble lectern for 80 more points. So that should be the last one we've got for building at the moment. Obelisk we can't do because we don't have the wilderness, I don't think. And Spirit Tree, we still need a Spirit Tree seed for this one, so we'll come back and knock that one out later. Although there's still a couple more tasks we can do which are house related. Okay, now there should be tasks for relocating our house. So I think Relica is one of them. There we go, 40 points. And then also Yanil should be another 40 points. Perfect. 2 more tasks out of the way. And that is the end of our construction frenzy, I think. There's still a couple tasks for things like building stash units and that, which are construction related. But in terms of our house, that's pretty much everything. A nice long list of tasks knocked out. I pulled up the earlier clip to see where we were. And so it was 5,970 points until the next relic. And now we are down to 4,520. That was a gain of 1,450 points just from smashing out construction. We'll get the 25, 35, and 50 mil construction tasks knocked out later once we get to the 16-time multipliers. Even though it's still pretty quick as is, we might as well wait for that. Just sitting around doing a bit of fletching while I thought about what I wanted to do next, and we got ourselves up to level 70 and 1400 total. While I was searching for my mystic gear, I remembered that we had these ornament kits that we found in the bank at the start of the league. It says they're from Shattered Relics, so it must be like a carryover reward. So we might as well throw it on and see how it looks. Why not? That looks pretty snazzy. I'll take that. Why not? A throwback to the Shattered Relic League. Okay, as expected, the worlds are completely packed. I'm just going to start in this corner for a little bit to build up some prayer potions. If you're not familiar with this monkey spot, basically there's just like infinitely spawning monkeys that always aggro on you. They're very easy to stack up and there's a massive amount of XP, but you have to do Monkey Madness 2. Now, because we're in the league, Monkey Madness 2 is auto-completed, so that's fine. And these monkeys will drop 1-dose prayer potions. It is actually possible to sustain sufficiently to the point where you can actually build up more prayer potions than what you came in with. So we're just going to use this to build up an early prayer potion supply. Even though I'm not in the optimal spot in the top northeast corner, that I'm still pulling in 3 mil XP an hour. This is why I'm not too worried about doing a bit of magic training for tasks. It's so quick anyway, we're not really wasting that much time. We were only there for like 5 minutes for our first trip and gained all these levels already. I actually managed to stumble across a world that wasn't occupied, so let's see how much we can blast away here for a little bit. Unfortunately, I had to take a brief intermission and actually leave my house, so I whipped out the OSRS mobile and was just doing a bit of cooking. I think we were at 38 cooking, so we got almost 30 odd levels there, but now we can jump back in and continue with our mage grind. Okay, we just hit 75 defense. I think that's going to be more than enough for now. I might actually just switch to doing pure mage training so that we can get a little bit faster magic XP. I mean, 2.7 mil is nothing to scoff at, but I want to just knock out my mage levels as quick as possible. And we have got 93 mage locked in with a few wizard mind bombs. That should be enough to do every single magic related task, I think. So let's jump out of here and move on to some other things. We were getting a cool 4 million magic XP per hour there, and that's without using ice barrage. We were using shadow barrage, and we don't even have the 16 times multiplier. We're still on 12 times. This is the other nice thing about the Monkey Madness 2Ks when you're barraging or chinning. We went there with literally 0 prayer potions in our bank and came out with a profit of plus 24 potions. That's pretty damn nice. So if you didn't know, you can actually come here to Yosik in the Lighthouse in the Fremnik region and buy yourself Wizard Mind Bombs here, as well as Dwarven Stouts. So you don't have to go to the Asgarnia region or Falador, which is where you normally would get these in the game, which is something I actually just learnt now during the leagues because I was looking up if I could get access to these or not. Turns out I can. Okay, let's start knocking out these magic tasks. The first one I believe we've got left is Ice Blitz. We'll just cast it on this imp over here. 80 points. Then we're going to drink ourselves the Wizard's Mind Bomb and we can cast an Ice Barrage. That'll be the monkey that cops this one. An Elite Task, 200 points. I forgot to look at where we started at, so it was 4160 plus 280, whatever that was at. Rightio, the last one for our Ancient Magic should be to craft 1 Goric Teletab. We will do that right now. And another 200 points. So there we go, a quick 480 points from the Ancient Spellbook, and we can swap back to the regular one now. I'm not used to running around the game with like every single rune. It completely threw me off guard for a second when I saw all those colors pop up in the spellbook. Okay, now it's time for the Lunar spellbook. Oh, that's 10 points as well. Actually, just for swapping to the spellbook, we'll take that. Okay, so Baba Yaga's shop. This is going to be our go-to rune store. We can get pretty much every single rune in the game from here now, except for the cosmic runes. And let's just load up on astral runes for now. Okay, next task, we're going to again drink a Wizard's Mind Bomb, study at the lectern, and whip ourselves up a Catherby teleport tab. That should be 200 more points, elite task complete. Then we can jump into our spellbook, cast the Moon Clan teleport, 40 more points, and there is still one more to go. We need a farming patch. Actually, we can use that Catherby teleport tab we just made. Go over to the patches there. And can I cast fertile soil while this is grown, or do I have to harvest it? Okay, I need to harvest this first. Where's the spade? Right, get those marigolds out of the way. 27 farming, a nice little side quest there. And cast fertile soil for 80 more points. Another hard task in the bag. And that is the end of our little mage frenzy. Probably over 1,000 points I think we just got there. There is a task for casting a surge spell on the standard book as well, but we're going to need 95 rune crafting to get the wrath runes so that we can cast that. Technically, we could do it through Barbarian Assault as well, so if you don't have access to Fremnik, that is another way you can get Wrath Runes just in the minigame itself, but I just don't really feel like playing through a game of Barbarian Assault at the moment. Hold up. I was just scrolling back through the tasks and I realized we almost missed one, and a big one at that. If we hit our Wizard Mind Bomb and cast Spellbook Swap, just to, I don't know, let's go to the standard Spellbook for a second. That is another elite task, 200 more points. That would have been pretty sad to miss out on. We just need to cast a spell on something. Where's one of these Sukwas? Perfect, there we go, and let's go back to our regular spellbook and resume our grind. Okay, so I was just sort of standing around here doing a bit of crafting while I tried to look at the task list and decide what I wanted to do next. I think I was wasting more time though looking at the list trying to come up with a plan rather than just going and doing whatever task I saw I hadn't completed yet. So since we've already knocked out a couple of big batches of tasks today behind some longer grinds, our construction and magic tasks, I think rather than trying to come up with another set of combo tasks, I'm just going to open up the task list, sort it by most completed, and start working top to bottom. And start ripping through tasks rather than just standing around trying to work out what I want to do. Okay, so we're going to be starting at 3,430 points until our next relic. Let's see how much we can chip this down. Defeat a rock crab, 10 points. Use the bank on Yatso, 10 points. Use the bank chest on Naotsnot, 10 more points. And that is the banking trifecta. Use the bank on Lunar Isle. Okay, I came here to buy a mirror shield, but we might as well get an assignment from Steve as well, which is 66 fire giants for 10 more points. Slaying a cockatrice, another task. Smack a yak, chop a log, sniping a troll, 10 more points. Okay, we've actually got to smack a couple more yaks because we need to make ourselves some yak hide armor real quick. Okay, that is one set of yak hide armor we can throw on for 10 more points, and I don't, oh no, actually that's 40 points. We'll take that, even better. And I don't think I need those anymore, so we're just going to dump them on the ground. Actually, I lied. We need this for Fremnik Isle, so I'm going to pick that up real quick and stick it in the bank. And speaking of the Fremenic Isles, that is the quest complete. And I think we'll just dump this onto, no, let's just dump it onto strength. Why not? There we go. 6 strength levels, a whole bunch of other XP, wood cutting and crafting. The construction doesn't really matter at this point, but we'll take whatever we can get. Let's see, 67 strength, 68 crafting, blue dragon hide chaps, 66 wood cutting, and a helm of Nayet's Knot for another 40 points. Rightio, a brief quest intermission, defeated Dagonoth, 40 more points. Another quest, but it has to be done, 40 more league points, and actually we can make use of Kingdom Miscellanea here. Yeah, so since we didn't go Farmer's Fortune, we might as well make use of Kingdom and Miscellanea to get a bunch of extra herbs and that. So I'm just going to dump a whole bunch of cash in here, why not? So we don't have to remember to restock it, and we'll just smash up our herb supply. Let me just take off all these resources. Dump everything into herbs. Perfect. And we'll just leave herbs maxed out. We don't really need anything else here. This is the priority, and that'll be good. Since our Slayer level is so low, we're actually missing out on a bunch of easy tasks that we could be completing. So I figured I might as well come here and knock out that Fire Giants task we got when we were running through the Gnome Stronghold before. Plus, there's also some tasks for equipping a rune crossbow, which requires 61 range, so we're knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone here. It's not just a task as well. The rune crossbow is our best in slot weapon for a very long time to come. It's incredibly powerful in the leagues with the range and relics, so it would be really nice to start using that too. Hey, and we got a little bonus task on top of that. 1500 total level, 80 more points, and 30 Slayer with a cherry on top. And there is our 61 range. We can finally equip our Runite crossbow, which will let us also use our Onyx bolt tips with the Runite bolts we got from Soul Wars before. We are now pretty much set with some gear that could carry us all the way through to the end of the league. So that was a lot more productive than I was expecting it to be. We got like 12 range levels and, I don't know, 23 Slayer levels in the one task. That's, I'll take that. I'm surprised we were going at over 1 million range XP per hour on single targets. I can't even begin to imagine what chins must be. Maybe we should go through a few just to see. So those Slayer levels already will help us knock out several more Leagues tasks, but there's still more to get if we get a couple more levels. So I thought we'd come and see what Duradel has for offer for us. 25 Mythal Dragons. That's not the best offer, mate, but I'll take the 10 Leagues points. Can I skip this actually? Let me see. Have rewards, because we should have some points. Yep, that's just tasks. Cancel tasks. Yes, please. I really don't want Mythal Dragons. Let's try that again. You know what, actually? The Basilisk task shouldn't be that bad because now we have access to a Runite crossbow. We can still use the Mirror Shield with our range skills. So let's just whip that up. How do I make this? Wait, do I use that? Nope. Do I use that? Nope. Do I use that? I'm confused. I need a hammer. That's what I need. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, we got the hammer in the inventory this time. Let's whip up that unstrung crossbow. Let's throw some string on it. And I need to spin it into... What do I need to spin that into? A bowstring. I am really bad at making a crossbow. Okay, 3rd time's the charm. Let's slap that on there. There we go. 80 points for fletching a rune crossbow. And then another 80 points for equipping the rune crossbow. 160 points just like that. That has got us down below 3,000 points until the next relic as well. We are cruising along. Just did a quick drive-by on a Pyre Fiend as we head over to those Basilisks, 10 more points. So yeah, as I was saying, my initial negative reaction to the Basilisk task was because I forgot that we now have the crossbow, so we can use the Mirror Shield, which is required to kill these. I was thinking we weren't going to be able to utilize our combat relic because we were using a bow, which is two-handed, which meant we wouldn't have really been able to kill these effectively. Fortunately, that's not the case, and we get to enjoy our machine gun rune crossbow. It's so fast that the animation can't even keep up. You can see the second bolt actually shoots in between while I'm lifting the shield. But yeah, that's the power of the rune crossbow in Leagues. Normally a 5-tick weapon down to 2 ticks. It's going to do a lot of damage, and it's going to do it fast. And once we start using enchanted bolts, it'll be even better for shredding through bosses. A quick editor's note, during this task I actually got my first superior monster, which was a task as well, 40 points I think it is to slay a superior monster, but I was on mobile so I didn't bother getting any footage at the time. So I know I said I wasn't looking for the next big combo chain of points, but Slayer has essentially turned into that. 2 tasks later, 30 levels, and not to mention the points we've already gained, there's still a whole bunch more that we've now unlocked. There's 40 points for killing a jelly, and another 40 points for slaying a Turoth. And that is Royal Trouble complete for another 40 points. And that quest has a 40 Slayer requirement as well, so it gets to count towards our little Slayer combo. Plus it gave us a nice little chunk of Slayer XP on top of that. Okay, we just made a quick detour from our Slayer grind to go to the Giant's Foundry and get a few smithing levels. And that was also a, what was that, a medium task for 50 quality sword. Very nice. Okay, so the whole point of that little smithing detour was so that we could make ourselves, that's not what I wanted to do, make ourselves a mithril grapple. Thank you very much. And now, oh, that was 40 points as well. I'll take that, bonus task. And then what I was trying to do was go and do the Path of Gloffrey, which required a mithril grapple. So let's go do that one now. So this quest also has a Slayer requirement. We can add it to our little tally of Slayer League task points. So this quest is relatively new to old school RuneScape, and I haven't done it in the main game yet. It looks like Jagex are a bunch of sadists bringing this back from the first Gloffrey quest just to mess with players again. At least RuneLite can solve it for us these days, and it doesn't seem like it takes quite as long as in the first quest. Okay, and that is Path of Gloffrey complete, which was another 80 points, a hard task. That was an interesting little quest, and on top of that, it's going to be 20,000 Slayer XP. Once we hit the multiplier, that should be a nice big chunk. Not enough for a level though, apparently. Okay, I thought I was going to get a level out of that at least. Oh wait, I'm a goofball. It's in these lamps over here. Okay, so let's pop the strength one. That's going to get us, oh my, up to level 72 strength. Let's pop, I want to pop the Slayer one last. Thieving doesn't really matter. We've already got 99. Let's pop the magic one. Take that. And now the big one. Okay, we've got 60 Slayer. What does this get us to? 66 Slayer. Very nice. Okay, one more quick detour where we can finally buy ourselves a rune pickaxe that we got Fremennik unlocked, and we can mine an ore with that rune pickaxe for 40 more points. I came to Guardians of the Rift real quick just to get a few rune crafting levels, and look at all these random drops people are getting. Well, that's my first ever game of Guardians of the Rift complete for 40 points. I have no idea what was going on. I have literally never played this mini game in my life, but I was just minding my own business, doing a bit of rune crafting, and that's what we're here to do anyway. We need to get to level 55, so I'm going to knock out another game or two maybe. We also got a few mining levels from that, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, let's get up to level 55 and move on. Right, we got ourselves our level 55 rune crafting that we were looking for. I think the equilibrium was really helping with the mining because we got a good chunk of mining levels there as well. So, you know, that's our little relic kicking in clutch. Well, we can't afford any of the gear anyway, so we'll come back to do our Guardians of the Rift grind in the future. But for now, we got what we came for, which was our 55 rune crafting. Let's get back to our Slayer tasks. I just realized I have ice gloves in my bank, which is nice. I could have used this for Giant's Foundry. I completely forgot that when you unlock the Fremennik region, you actually get given these for free just straight to your bank. You don't have to go and collect them, which is really nice. I just got done doing the Sergeant's Training Ground random event, and it's actually worth doing specific random events during this league because of the collection log task. So anything that gives you like a unique item is worth because it'll add to your collection log tally. But anyway, slightly sidetracked there. You might be wondering what 55 rune crafting has to do with our Slayer grind, and that's because it's a requirement for the Fremennik Exiles quest. And you know what else is a requirement for the Fremennik Exiles quest? You'll never guess. Slayer. Well, this is awkward. So I just double checked the wiki to make sure like I wasn't completely losing the plot, and it definitely doesn't say that 60 mining is a requirement for the quest. So okay, I'm not an idiot. It's not my fault. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, that problem is solved. Let's get back to the quest. Fremennik Exiles complete. Wow, that got us 8 more Slayer levels all the way up to 74. So the quest, oh, and it got us like 10 runecrafting levels as well. So the quest itself was not a league task, but it gives us access to a couple more tasks through a higher Slayer level for a couple more monsters, as well as giving us access to the Basilisk Knights, which are locked behind the quest. So now that we have 70 Slayer, we can kill a Kurask for another 40 points. And because we've done Fremennik Exiles, we can kill a Basilisk Knight for another 40 points. No Basilisk draw, unfortunately. That would have been a nice bit of luck, so we're going to have to come back and grind these out later on. I don't think I want to do the Steel Dragons. I think we should be able to do Black Demons. We should be able to take on a Demonic Gorilla or two with these stats and just knock off a task, maybe. Okay, I was a bit rusty on that, but we got the kill. Oh, it would have been nice if we got a Zenite just on kill count 1, but we'll take the 80 points for now. And an Elite Combat task as well. Nice. There's actually a task as well to just equip one of these Harpy Bug Lanterns from the Slayer Master shop, so that's another 40 points. Also, if you weren't aware, in the leagues, you can actually just buy an elemental shield from the Slayer Master rather than having to go and craft that at the elemental workshop, so that's really nice and handy to have. And the whole reason we needed that elemental shield was so that we could quickly slay a Fossil Island Wyvern for 40 more points. And that's a Wall Beast slain, 40 more points. And last but not least for our Slayer task for now, 1 Dust Devil slain in the desert, 40 more points. Okay, so because we unlocked Fremennik, that auto completes Dragon Slayer 2, which means we get a nice little freebie task, a hard one for entering the Mist Guild, 80 points. And there's 10 points for proving ourselves to Ponce. I don't think I've ever actually come down underneath the Mist Guild before. I had no idea this place was here. Right, figured I should make use of the Mist Guild cooking range, and there is 100 cooked lobsters. Well, since my recent discovery about 10 minutes ago that there's a whole bunch of dragons under the Mist Guild, I figured I might as well grab a bit of leather for each dragon colored type and make ourselves some armor, both for gear upgrades and also a few leagues tasks. Hey, we got a random combat achievement for that one as well, big, black and fiery. Okay, we've got ourselves all the dragon leather that we need. Now we just need to knock out a few more crafting levels and we can make it all up into armor. Okay, we finally made it to level 80 crafting. We can stop there, get ourselves a Sully set for a mushroom pie, and that'll be a +4 boost, which will get us to the black D-hide body. Oh, okay, finally we got there. About 150 logs cut. Actually, I think it was a few less than that, but it was still over the drop rate, but not too far over. It was bugged out earlier in the league, so some people were here for hours and never got one, which is pretty unfortunate, but it took me about 15 minutes, not the end of the world. Quick tip, if you've got less than level 89 cooking, always make sure you cook your like boosting pies, like garden pies and mushroom pies here in the Lumbridge range. That way you're guaranteed to never burn it. And now we've got our mushroom pie ready to go. Let's munch on our pie and let's go 1 black d'hide body, 1 vambrace, and 1 pair of chaps. And then the same for all the others. Okay, now we can throw these on one by one. There we go. Equip a full blue set, that's 40 points. Equip a full red set, another 40 points. And equip a full black set, 80 points. And we're going to be wearing that one moving forward. So that's going to be our best in slot. And we might as well hang on to these ones as well, because it looks like they're used for some clues. Fermenting 100 jugs of wine, 40 points. And there is 20 red berry pies. For some reason, it's 80 points. I would have thought it's a medium task, but we'll take it. And there is cooking 100 pies in general, 80 more points. That was a nice little flurry of tasks complete, actually. How are we going? Oh, we're getting real close now, actually within touching distance. So I think let's see what else we can go and knock out now. Okay, well, I'm thinking since we've got our rune crossbow and black d'hide now, we might as well go knock out the fight caves. There's a lot of easy points there to get. However, before we do that, we've got these 500 chins from when we did a little bit of hunter earlier, so we might as well put those to use first, get their bonus range levels for free, and then go knock out the fight caves, just make it that little bit easier and quicker. Okay, this is just silly. Look how fast I'm hurtling these poor chin chompers at the monkeys. It's absolute machine gun chins. And you know the best part? It just occurred to me that the range, like ammunition saving actually applies to the chins. Like, look, I've just thrown like 10 chins and I haven't even gone down by 1 yet. I'm pretty sure in the past leagues that wasn't the case. Like the ammunition didn't count for things like chin chompers and that. They still got used like normal. But in this leagues, that's not the case. You get to save your chin chompers and that's just absolutely busted. Okay, I just want to be able to keep tabs on this. So we started at level 75 defense and 78 range. We are going at 6 mil an hour in both of those skills, plus 5 mil HP. The chinning is so much more ridiculous than the mage that we were doing before. Obviously, part of that's because we got the, obviously part of that's because we're actually using the range relic rather than the mage relic. But yeah, this is bonkers. Okay, I was having so much fun just blasting chins there. I got a bit carried away. I went all the way from 75, I think, to 89 defense and 78 to 90 range. That'll be more than enough. We could have kept going, but I think we'll just call it there. We barely even used over 100 chins. I think we used like 120 chins, and we were only there for, that's what, about just under 40 minutes, so like barely any time at all. We could easily knock out 99 for some points, but I want to go do the fight caves, and we can always do this later on. And last piece of the puzzle, just knocked out a couple of fletching levels so that we can make some onyx-tipped bolts. Ah, the fire sale life, just buying as many onyx bolt tips as we want without a care in the world. I knew there was something I forgot to do earlier. We were meant to make ourselves a little maple shield here, slap on some green d'hide leather, and I need 15 steel nails. Damn it. Luckily, I had some in the bank. I didn't have to go to the lumberyard, so that's a medium task for creating a d'hide shield, and that'll just be our offhand weapon for now. We could make a better one, but I can't be bothered to get the dragon hide. Okay, so this should pretty much be a walk in the park. We're all geared up. I'm just going to bring diamond bolts. There's no point using ruby bolts. None of the HP is high enough on the monsters here to really use the special effect effectively. Effectively? That's a sentence. I'm going heavier on the prayer pots than the food because we're using onyx bolts here as well as a switch up. The onyx bolts have a life leech effect, so when they proc, they do like 20% extra damage and you heal for 25% of the damage dealt. So that's going to be most of our sustain throughout the caves anyway. Anyway, without further ado, let's smash out this Jad fire cape. Hey, there's a diary task for killing the major. I forgot about that. Hey, a little freebie range level throughout the fight cave. 91 range. Hey, we got a hit points level as well. 94 HP. Okay, I think I'm going blind or something because I couldn't. Oh, he was hidden behind the back. That's why I couldn't see the last healer. So I just started pumping the diamond bolts trying to DPS through the heals because I had already tagged a couple of them. But we got there, and I accidentally, where was it? Survive a hit from Jad. I wasn't planning to do that task, but I may have missed a prayer flick and got the hit. But luckily, it did not kill me. I think it hit like an 83 or something like that. So we'll take it. Okay, so that's a hard task, surviving a hit from Jad. Then there'll be an elite task for equipping the fire cape and a Karamja diary task as well. So couldn't quite get the speedrunning task. I think the first one is under half an hour, even though I was attacking non-stop. So I thought I would get it pretty comfortably, but I guess that wasn't to be. Maybe my gear just needs a bit more upgrading still. Also, it's kind of hard to compare, I guess, with some of those mages you see running around with their Tunic and Shadow just blasting like 100s non-stop with Berserker Relic as well. Actually, that's the one thing that might help. When I get Berserker Relic, it'll probably speed up those runs quite a bit. And we're just going to straight away sacrifice that fire cape. Since we're playing range, we're not really desperately in need of that fire cape. We can grab another one later if we want it, but for now, the 200 points are far more valuable. There's a few other nice things about being in the deeper Tazar city now. One, for example, is we can buy all the way up to diamond gems from this store, and we can buy all the way up to runite ore as well. So we can pretty much buy any smithing and crafting supplies we need to train straight from here now. It's far better than the previous gem stores we had access to, where you can only buy like one sapphire or emerald at a time. This is much, much faster now. The other thing we can do now as well is buy ourselves a full set of obsidian armor. I should not have noted that. I'm going to have to go to the bank to unnote it, but that'll be a few more task points in a second. And along the way, we're going to steal a diamond from Matazar. That's back to back to back elite task. 600 points in a matter of minutes. And that is the full set of obsidian armor equipped. 80 more points. We are now sub 1,000 points, almost there at that tier 7 relic, but it's been a long grind today. The video is getting pretty long as it is as well, so I think we're going to call it there. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like. It really helps me out and is greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you want to follow along. Previous episodes on screen, and until next time, have a good one. See ya.